Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back to another edition Star Citizen 3.11.1 IAE Day 5 Misc. Let's get to it. First up, we've got the Misc Prospector. The Prospector being the single-seat mining vessel, almost the gold standard of mining vessels, if you will. This little ship can definitely help you make a lot of money in the verse if you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for. In my opinion, it's a must-have ship in any self-respecting captain's fleet. Next up, we're going to hit the racetrack with the Misc Razor. Now, the Razor is obviously a racing ship. It is almost like the Formula One version of, a racing ship. It's sleek, it's fast, it's got the branding, it's anything a NASCAR fan would probably like, I think. I don't know. Got some weapons on there, so you're not completely defenseless either. Moving right along, we've got the Misc Razor Lx. Now, this variant is the luxury version. It has a nice white paint. That's how you know it's the luxury version, because it's copying Origin, has a different weapons loadout, and that's kind of about it. Really, it's white and different guns. Moving right along, we've got the Misc Razor Ex. Now, the EX is more of the stealth version. It doesn't have the branding on there. It's got the nice, sleek black paint. Also has different weapons. It's got the scatter guns. It's supposed to be stealthier. I believe it does have lower EM and IR. I only played with it a little bit when it first came out. But if you like the racer, you just don't want all the branding, and you want a nice, fast, sleek ship, the Misc Razor might be for you, as there is one for just about anybody. Moving on from there, we get to one of my favorite ships in the Misc line, the Starfarer Gemini. Now, the Starfarer Gemini is a big boy. He's a chunky boy. It is the militarized tanker. It's got some distinguishing features, as you can see on the nose there. They've got a bunch of size 3 missiles. I believe there's 9. Couple that with the dual size 4 special turreted weapons. This is quite the ship. It is humongous. This thing is gigantorous. It is ostentatious. No, I don't know if that's I don't know. It's awesome. Okay, this thing is huge. One of the things I love about this ship, much like the Mercury Star Runner, it's got maintenance tunnels in it. Now, they're not specifically for smuggling, but hey, they're there. From there, we're going to hit the downstairs. Now, there are no displays as you first come down. There are just seating areas, so let's move it right along to the display hall. As we round the corner, we are going to get our first look at the hollow model for the Misc Hull A. Now, the Hull A is going to be one of the hauling ships of the Misc line. It is the starter, if you will, of the Misc Hull series, as A comes first. You can see it will carry 4 large cargo containers for all of your cargo shipping needs. Well, maybe not all, but for a good majority. Those cargo tanks are supposed to hold a lot of cargo. Do not let the size fool you. There are a lot of SCUs in each of those containers. Moving right along, we now take a look at the Hull C. Now, the Hull C is much larger compared to the A. As you can see, that holds many more containers than 4. Yes, those are the same size containers you just saw on the Hull A. Let that sink in for a moment. And the Hull C isn't even the largest of the Hull series. So the Hull C is probably going to be there for all of your hauling needs. This thing is massive. The only thing they're waiting on, from what I understand, to get this ship out are the changing physics grids. Hopefully those come on sooner than later, as the hull series are supposed to be the most eponymous ships in the game. Ubiquitous, not eponymous, sorry, the most ubiquitous ship in the game. Sorry, brained my damage, words are hard. From there, we are going to move into the halls, the Freelancer halls, to take a look at these amazing ships. So the first one we're going to take a look at is the base Freelancer itself. Now, I'm sure we're all pretty well acquainted with the base Freelancer, as many people have a free version of it, so we won't spend a lot of time on this one. Next up, we've got the Freelancer DUR, which is the exploration model. DUR stands for duration. As you can see, it has a different paint scheme, different livery, as well as extra tanks. Those are those little things protruding out from the nacelles. It also has four size 3 Hurston attrition repeaters attached to it. So even in a fight, this thing still has some teeth. If you're looking for a smaller exploration ship, this might be for you. Next up, we've got the Freelancer Max. Now this one, oh, it's a chonky boy as well. Now, you can probably notice right off the bat, the engine nacelle is much larger. That's because it's got dual or quad engines. Dual in each, quad in all. As we make our way around to the rear, you're going to see this one has a much larger cargo capacity, as this is, of course, the max, the maximum load for the maximum cargo movement. Just for comparison, this is what the rear Freelancer looks like compared to the Max. It is visibly different. And finishing up the Freelancers are the Freelancer Misc, the missile boat, the militarized version, and personally my favorite Freelancer variant. This thing has a boatload of missiles on it. There is a reason why they call this thing the missile boat. Along with that, it's also got more missiles on the wing nacelles, as you can see underneath there. As well, it has a proprietary missile system which helps reload missiles for faster utilization. In my personal opinion, the Misc is definitely something any self-respecting fighter or support pilot wants to have in their fleet, as this thing can most certainly bring the pain to any battlefield it shows up to. From there, we move on to the Reliant Hall and start out with the Misc Reliant Mako. Now, the Mako is the news version of the Reliant series. Yes, news, you heard that correct. It has a special gimbaled camera on one of the wings, which you can see there on the far left-hand side. Once texture streaming comes in for a player-facing end, we just may have the ability to do actual broadcasts and video feeds. So that's something to look forward to. Next up, we've got the Reliant Sen. Now, the Sen is a science platform. Basically, what you're going to use the Sen for is science stuff. I don't really know how that will work in-game, but I have an idea. It might have to do with scanning, things of that nature, taking readings. This is the science ship. It does science and maths. From there, we move on to the Reliant Tana, which is the light fighter. Now, this light fighter version has some extra weapons attached to it on the gimbals on the ends of each wing, which you can see there. This is halfway decent. It's not exactly my favorite ship. I'm actually not a big fan, but there you can see the weapon gimbals on the end there. And yeah, last but I guess not least is the Misc Reliant Core, or the Core, however you want to pronounce it. This was the base version of the Reliant, and strangely, it seems to have more weapons attached on its gimbals than the light fighter version. Something tells me that's incorrect and wrong, but the sign says this is the Koray, and there they are directly in front of us, so who am I to argue? Yeah, so the Koray, this is the base version of the ship. It does stuff in things, and it can run cargo, and it seems to have a decent armament. Of course, the Reliant series is the ship in which the wings turn completely from horizontal to vertical. Some people really dig that, some people don't. And that brings us to the end of Day 5 of the IAE Misc displays. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope all you beautiful bastards out there have yourselves a wonderful day, morning, evening, whenever, wherever you just so happen to be. This has been Will, Daylight Gamer, signing off. Love, peace, chicken grease. The Starfarer is love. Starfarer is life.